All right, we are live. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to This Weekend Loaded. All right, yeah, I think so. We're live, so I guess we are. And so far, we got a small panel. It's just me and Rob. You there, Rob? Or are you taking garbage out?
Yes, I'm here, but I don't like referring to myself as small. Come on, man.
I didn't say you were small. I said the panel's small. Yeah, two people. That's a small panel. The thing
Hey,
holds six.
we're both large and in charge. Come on, man.
Fiend Dog, obviously, he must have been sharing some beers with Rob earlier. Not you, the other Rob, because he's like, "Where am I?" So, if anybody didn't see Gary's chat earlier, Black Cat was tying one on, starting at what, like 11:30 this morning. His wife's not home; she's on vacation. So while the cat's away, the mouse was playing. Even though he calls himself a cat, apparently he's the mouse. So, yeah, he was having a good old time this morning and afternoon. Yeah, Gary says, "Where is Mister Trifecta anyway?" I don't know. He wasn't over at Scotsman. Fiend Dog says,
Well,
"Yeah." Fiend Dog says, "Can't drink all day unless you start in the morning."
we're over here working on our beauty rest, and Gary's out there throwing a fit.
Uh, Rob was having to do the housework, so that's why we were late. It's Rob's fault. Yeah, couldn't have him smashing up garbage and stuff in the background.
Yeah, spilling Cheerios all over the back porch. It's like everything you don't want to do with a microphone on. Stuff everywhere. It was horrible.
Uh, Gary said he's sleeping, referring to Black Cat. I'm wondering if he's sleeping in the bathtub. You know, yeah, I'm not sure he made it out of the shower still. I'm not sure he made it into the shower, to be perfectly honest.
He might have made it in, but did he make it out?
No, no, I think he passed out on the way to the bathroom.
He's gonna wake up and be like, "Shrinkage is real." Sorry.
Like when he told us about how his wife married the priest. He didn't finish the sentence. He just stopped. And then, like, 30 seconds later, completed the rest of the sentence. So it was like, "So your wife married a priest, did she?" And it just went right over his head.
Well, I don't know. We probably all had a day where we just cut loose and
Not like that.
time slipped.
Not like that.
If I'm honest, I probably had a couple, but not many.
Yeah, no, I've never started drinking at 11:30 in the morning. That has never happened.
Pretty sure those are the days you don't remember anyway.
Well, I would have remembered that part.
I don't know.
There's not very many days where I've even gotten drunk. So yeah, and never in the morning. He's always been in the evening.
So you never had like a pact to only drink alcohol all weekend?
Nope, never did that. Hold on.
Have you ever jaywalked?
That's quite possible. Remember, I grew up in the city. If you don't do that growing up in the city, half the time you don't get to cross the street.
All right, I'm just checking, trying to see how straight and narrow you are.
I was just never really big into drinking. Just
Yeah. Well, it's really not for everybody. So, and everything in moderation. So that's a big. Yeah.
yeah. Well, if you look, my grandfather was an alcoholic. My uncles both were. My real father was. My stepfather was. Just no. I'm going to stay away from that.
Yeah. Yeah. You either go one way or go the other. Usually.
No, I was never the hall monitor. I may have had a trip or two to the vice principal's office, or in middle school, we called them the dean's office because it was the dean. We had deans in middle school, and high school and elementary school, we had vice
Did you just
principals.
say you tripped with Dean, but you don't drink?
No, I said trip to
Oh.
the dean's office. Like the vice. That's why I was explaining. In middle school, we didn't have a vice principal. We had a dean who was basically the vice principal. But yeah, that was the weird thing. Elementary school and high school it was vice principal. Middle school it was the dean. I never got the point of that.
Now, was
Ever.
this a fancy school or a normal school?
No, it was just a regular public school.
What
What do you
state?
mean? Apparently, Defense Dad doesn't see my avatar. What was that?
What state was that in?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. I'll say here you got, principal, assistant principal ever since like elementary, I guess, on up. So
Yeah,
I
we
guess
had a
pre-K, they probably don't see it that way, but most of the pre-Ks are in elementary. So in a sense, they might. I don't know.
yeah we had principals. You had a principal elementary, middle, and high school. But for some reason, the vice principals when I was in middle school were called deans instead of vice principal.
I wonder why. We got some teachers out. Well, I don't know if they're in the chat in this show, but we got some teachers out there. Woods, Vanessa Kitty, what's the deal with that? I mean, I would think dean is like private school, and obviously professors in college, things like
Yeah,
that.
that's
I,
what I was
I don't
thinking.
know.
Yeah, until that point, I always thought the dean was the guy in charge of the college, not a middle school.
Eh,
Dean's just a fancy word for principal.
well, that's what we're trying to figure out. But in PA, growing up for him, they refer to it as dean in middle school. Middle school on up, I think you said.
No,
But
just middle school.
middle school. But here they got principals all. Have you ever had a dean?
No, I've always had a principal.
Me too. So.
But my friend went to Catholic school and she had a dean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Private school, yeah.
So
Dean,
I think
so.
it's just a fancy word.
Maybe they make like an extra 50 grand a year. I don't know. No, or 5 grand.
Yeah, but we had the guy that was in charge was the principal, but then the deans were in charge. You had two deans. They split the school into two houses. You had House A and House B, and each one had a dean that was basically the vice principal. Now in high school, each grade had their own vice principal. Elementary school, you had one vice principal and one principal.
That's strange stuff.
Kingpin's out there trying to be a troublemaker. What else is new? And apparently I'm a lair. He says I'm a lair. I think he needs to go back to middle school. He doesn't know how to spell liar. He says lair. I'm not that big, Kingpin. Jeez, I can't be a lair. unless you're talking like a, I don't know, Osmosis Jones kind of movie where you got all the little germs and everything that would make a
Well,
civilization.
you are a rich white guy. You might have a lair.
Yeah,
Not an unreasonable question.
I do not have a lair. I do not have the money to have a lair.
But
am
would
not
you
a
admit it
James
if you did?
I
Yeah.
do not have James Bond villain money. Come on now.
I don't know if I can believe it. I don't know.
Gary says we didn't all go to fancy city high schools with deans. No, it wasn't in high school. High school was vice principal. It was middle school, and believe me, my middle school was not what we would call fancy. Maybe when it was first built in the 1800s as the first campus for the University of Pittsburgh, it might have been fancy, but by the time I got there, it wasn't fancy anymore.
You sure that's not the school Richie Rich went to?
No, because he wasn't from Pittsburgh, dude. He was from some fictional town. I forget where the hell he was supposed to come from. Principal's list, yeah, I may have been on a few of those. Yeah, somebody said something about getting the paddle. Yeah, I may have had that happen before.
You're horrible, man.
Oh, they were still when I was in from 3rd to 6th grade. We did go to a Christian school, and paddling was still on the agenda if you got enough.
Oh yeah, sure. See, I never really got in trouble in school. I don't know. I'm not saying I was in trouble, but I was smart enough not to get in trouble, you know?
Well, me and another kid got into a fight, and yeah, we both met with the Board of Education that day. The Board of Education.
Not good, man. Not good. So you ever sell anything at school?
Nah. Not that I can remember anyway.
I was a hustler. I'd sell Halloween candy, like homemade beaded bracelets and shit, because people like those, and it was cheap, so I'd just be bored and make them. Actually, I convinced the kids next door to make them at that time, and I gave them like a quarter, and I sold them for like $2 or something. It was crazy. Expired condoms. Found a huge hefty bag of expired condoms. You wouldn't believe how many elementary kids would buy condoms. You know, I didn't know they were expired when I started selling them, to be honest. It's just a disclaimer, but you know, they weren't doing nothing with them. Everybody had a girlfriend in another town that you never heard of. You know what I mean? It was just, it was kid shit. But oh yeah, I sold all types shit. Shit, I sold free penny savers at one point. And people, I think, felt bad and bought them from me.
No, that's bad. People buying what they get in the mail.
It is, man.
Shit, I remember penny savers. They were great for finding stuff. It was like the print version of Craigslist until Craigslist went to shit. But yeah.
It's funny. I was a hustler.
Yeah, and that penny saver always had the pizza ads with the coupons and stuff for your local pizza shops. Hey, Jason.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Not bad.
We just kind of bullshitting tonight. We ain't really got any topics. So.
Yeah, I was listening for a few minutes on the phone, but I haven't heard the last 5 minutes.
Now, Gary's after saying the high school is named after me. No, the high school I went to was David B. Oliver High School, named for a former mayor of the city. And our school colors came from his initials. They were dark brown and orange. DBO were his initials, so dark brown and orange. And our team mascot was a brown bear. I don't know. I ain't got no PhD. What the hell's the Kingpin talking about? I ain't going back with this. Doing that much schooling. Shit, I'm done with that.
You ever sell anything in school, Jason?
What, to make
candy.
money?
Yeah, you know, stuff like that when you were a kid.
3 for $5.
3 for $5. Not exactly sure what you're referring to.
You guys remember when friendship bracelets became the big thing, and when I was in school, all the girls started selling those damn things.
And the beads on the safety pins that you put on your shoes.
Didn't really do that when I was in school.
Yeah, I don't remember that either, but I assume there's different fads, different places, all that type of stuff. Yeah, I mean, so, but yeah, man, you take advantage of it, you know, make yourself some money. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I became a little fat kid, man. I ain't even lying. Like, dude, every day I'd be buying like $20 worth of candy and shit. Like, I was the man.
Oh shit, man. we would get
Like,
off.
couldn't move.
Yeah, we would get off the school bus and walk up the street to the little convenience store that sold the penny candy, and we come back to school with a bag full of $2 worth of candy and gum and shit.
Shit, $2 worth of shit. That ain't nothing, man.
Dude, that's 200 pieces, man.
That's a warm up.
You know, the first gun I ever
Not for
bought.
selling.
The first gun that I ever bought, I was a freshman in high school, and I bought it at high school at the bus stop right out front in the grass. It's a little Smith & Wesson semi-automatic 22. I don't remember the model of it, but it was just like a little tiny miniature 1911. It's a little 22 long rifle Smith & Wesson. Wood grips. It was in beautiful shape. Got it for $35. The rules at school were a little bit more relaxed back then.
Yeah. Well, they didn't start cracking down on people having knives and stuff till I was in school.
Come on, I know there's people out there in the chat that sold some stuff. What's the craziest thing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Defense Day. Oh my God.
They're all pretending to be angels out there.
No, Defense Dad wasn't no angel. He got busted for doing other kids' art projects for money, and then he got suspended because he watched Better Off Dead and went out and told a little kid that snow was cocaine. Oh, he said he was in 5th grade and the other kid narked on him. Well, you were trying to sell him cocaine, so of course he narked on you. Now the question is, did the idiot actually try snorting it? I mean, it was the 80s, probably. I mean, yeah, Better Off Dead came out, so yeah.
You guys, did you have DARE in your school? Like the DARE program?
Nope.
No?
Mm-mm.
What about you, Jason?
Don't recall. I remember the police had bumper stickers that said that or something, but never recalled anything at school, like a class or a gathering in the auditorium or nothing like that about it.
My kids did. But we never did. I think we had a banner one year in the hallway, and that was about the extent of it.
I can remember having that, but I've heard a lot of debate lately, and I'm curious because it seems like that program might have had a negative effect. So I don't know if they're still doing it or what, because it does seem like it kind of brought attention to things, and then kids were like, oh, you know, secretly like my parents got this or whatever. Or da, da, da. Next thing you know, people are like bringing drugs into school and shit after that program. So I don't know. Maybe that was just my experience from seeing things. You know what I mean? But I was just curious. Anybody else had any take on that?
Ninth grade, we did have a anti-teen pregnancy and AIDS thing we had to participate in. That was a whole lot of boring.
I don't remember that. I remember like learning about ovaries, all that shit. What was it? Health or something?
No, this wasn't part of any class. This was a extracurricular activity that was mandatory that everybody had to participate in. You missed class time for a class to do it, and then you had makeup work you had to do for that class because it wasn't an excused absence from the class. Like, shit. Not only do I have to sit there and be bored listening to this shit all day, I also got to make up the damn schoolwork I missed from having to be there to do it.
I remember Dare to Keep Cops Off Donuts. Remember that one? You guys did. We had bumper stickers for that too. You guys didn't have that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
My kids had Dare when they were in school, and then they had a anti-bullying thing, and all the kids were picked to be on the anti-bullying thing were the bullies.
Yeah, we had anti-bullying stuff too. It was called getting your ass kicked outside in the yard.
Well, they weren't allowed to. If they fought back, when my kids were in schools, when they started that shit, if you fight back, then you're just as guilty and you get in trouble too.
They were doing that a long time ago in a sense, because I got popped for that in a sense. So I've always had a thing about bullies, but I don't know. That's long story or whatever. But needless to say, I ended up leaving middle school that day, and they counted that as my suspension, even though I came back with my dad. But I just left and went to my dad and told him what was up. And then we got called back to the school, and they were like, we can't condone what you did, but we're not mad at you, so we'll just consider your time gone as suspension. So they weren't really upset. Nowadays, it's I think they try to nail you to the wall though.
Yeah, my wife was just reminding me about the one time this one kid was picking on our daughter. He kept picking on her, and she had a talk with her doctor, and doctor told her that if he kept picking on her, to hit him. So he started picking on her again the next day or ever. I'm getting to it. And this was at lunch, and she stabbed him in the hand with her fork.
It's funny.
And the principal, she had to go to the principal's office. She told the principal, well, my doctor told me to. The principal called the doctor. He's like, yeah, I told her that she needs to stick up for herself, and the doctor got her out of trouble.
Yeah. My boy had a bully for a while, and it was pretty aggressive too. And it became like a thing. And this is elementary school, and we kept dressing the teachers, all this. And I'm telling them, like, look, just do it the right way first. Da 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 da. And we did, and we addressed everything. And I swear, school didn't give a damn. And one day the kid like had to pass papers back, and he ended up hitting my kid. And then my kid got up and just hit him back, and like he laid him out, and the kid fell over the desk in front of him, and it made a huge scene and all this crap. And like, it was from what they described it to me, it was like a kid hit somebody, and then it was almost like a man hit the kid back. Like he went flying. Like, we can't have that. Like, well, shit. Like, we've told you people time and time again. Of course, he got in trouble and stuff, but yeah, I ended up taking him out for ice cream and shit that day. That was a learning experience. So I was like, you might be in trouble there, but you're not with me. So, and then they started taking us more seriously over there. And what was it, like 2 weeks later, the kid's running over here trying to be like my kid's best friend and stuff. It was hilarious. Like, it's kid stuff. So yeah, when your kids stand up for themselves, go get them some damn ice cream with sprinkles.
Defense that saying that they had a fort made out of the big tires, and he fell asleep in one of those tires. It's 2 classes. That's a great excuse for cutting class. Too bad it didn't work. Abigail says she bloodied a kid's nose when he smacked her on the ass.
I wouldn't punish my daughter for that.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I didn't punish my daughter for stabbing the kid with a fork.
Yeah, really would, you know, like, no, just let them sexually assault you. It's fine, honey. Like, what the hell? You know, that person needs to get checked out.
Damn, she says she got suspended for 10 days. That's bullshit there.
Man, when I went to school, we didn't have none of this stuff like they've had for years now, and like if you retaliate, you're both in trouble, or this or that. We didn't have none of that, man. Even if you got in a fight, as long as you weren't on school property or right there, the teachers ain't gonna stop it. If you got in a fight in the hallway or something in school, teachers might break it up, but like there wasn't no like 10-day suspensions and kicked out of school or none of that. Maybe you got a detention. Maybe they made you two work it out or let you settle it after school. Wasn't none of that. There was plenty. I've been fist fight punches with teachers, and nobody gets in trouble. Not me nor the teacher. Had it many times when I growed up. We had this one teacher. I don't think he could go a month without being in actual closed fist, draw punches, and swinging fights with students. And he ended up being the superintendent of the whole city school district here. One time, man, he was like a ex like special forces dude in Vietnam, so he was a little edgy.
Hey,
but he was a wrestling coach.
Back, you might save the world.
Yeah, he was a wrestling coach, so you know how them guys are too. But anyways, there was like one day, man, he's walking through our gym class, and there was this fat kid, we all called like Marty Moose and stuff. Like he grabbed Marty in a headlock and gave him, you know, like a head burn while he's walking across the thing and let go of him. And we were doing something. Anyways, I had like a racquetball. Remember them blue racquetballs in my hand?
Mm-hmm.
And like he turned his back to me, man. Couldn't have been 10, 20 feet away. And I looked at Marty and stuff. I said, I wouldn't take that if I was you. So I beamed him right in the back of his head with that racquetball as hard as I could, making him think like Marty retaliated. You know what I mean? He turned right around, knew it was me, walked right up to me, and geez, I couldn't have been 13, 14 years old. And he's a grown man, ex-Army, Marine bullshit, Vietnam vet, wrestle teacher, walked straight toward me as a young kid and punched me right in my mouth and lips and nose, barehanded fist. Bam! And it knocked me down. And I was like, you son of a bitch. When I was starting to get back up, he reached down, grabbed me by my hair, grabbed me by my balls, picked me up off the ground, threw me back down on the ground. And I was like, son of a bitch. And when I was getting up from that one, he straight arm punched me, caught me right in the mouth as I was standing up, walked right into it. Bam! Oh, I was pissed. My mom came to school and she had him, the principal, and the vice principal on her office. If you ever touch my fucking son again, I'll sue every one of you and stuff. But that was common back then. Wasn't no scandals and people getting fired at school and people going to court for that or nothing. That happened all the time. That same dude, that same Coach Mack, I seen him get into a fight with a kid. You remember them great big coffee tubs, hold like 5 gallons of coffee, and he had the little dispenser on the bottom. Yeah, I've seen him pick those up over his head and hit kids with it in the middle of a fist fight and stuff. There was no repercussions or calling the law or none of that shit at my school, man. None of that. You wouldn't even consider that. Like that dude and that coach I had a problem with, it's more like okay, one of these days I'll handle this on my own. There wasn't no, like I said, like nowadays people get suspended, careers over, and being on the news or nothing. That was normal shit. I got punched in my mouth, picked up, thrown back down, punched again to beat up because I was a smart ass punk. That's why he did it to me, and I deserved it. But like I said, there nowadays, your career would be over for that. Back then, that was just, that's just an hour at work. That's all.
You see the Fed stats comment that I just put up on the screen? He's lucky he wasn't sitting in some psychiatrist's office.
I don't know, Jason. That seems a little extreme to me. But
Yeah, that was a little extreme.
I'd be fine with the fact, like, if these students, especially nowadays, it seems like they got no respect for nothing. Like, they want to get all physical with you. It's self-defense. If you got to whoop their ass in class, so be it. Self-defense, but
Dude, that's
not
exactly
just run over, punch a kid in the face, grab him by the balls, and throw him around the room. I think that's a problem.
Oh man, I tell you what, I was very angry for years at the dude, and he used to jog around the town and the city, and I would like drive by, like think, man, I should just swerve over and hit that fucking prick. You know what I mean? He ended up being the principal, and then he ended up from being principal, he ended up being the whole superintendent of the whole schools, man.
Oh my God, Black Cat's out there. He survived.
Shit, dude, we had coaches and teachers back in the day get caught at school smoking weed and never get fired or in trouble. Teachers, coaches, in the school lounge, at school, never get in trouble.
Can't say I ever had that happen. Never got picked up by a teacher and body slammed on the ground again either. So there's that too.
Yeah, like I said, that dude was like the wrestling coach. Like he was like, if you found like a cockroach on the ground and you showed it to him, you give him like $1 or something, motherfucker would eat it. Seen him do that many times. And he was like, when you're in the army and you're in the jungle, you'd be surprised what you got to eat. It ain't nothing. I mean, he was just one of them kind of dudes all the time.
Insane.
You're that hungry, that's one thing, but you ain't that hungry for $1, man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that dude was he was just one of them dudes, man. Like, that Congressman Jim Jordan from Ohio? He's like a wrestling coach. Him and Coach Mack that I'm talking about, they look like identical, man. They could be brothers or something. They got the same look, same build, same mentality about shit. But yeah, it was different back in my school. There wasn't none of this modern day stuff. Like, teachers do whatever they want. Can't even really get fired or nothing, man. Same teachers work there till they retire. Wasn't no scandals or people doing nothing. Like I said, he beat the shit out of me, but like I said, I deserved it. I hit him in the back of his head with a racquetball as hard as I could. That's just how it goes, man.
The one, when I was in high school, the one vice principal nobody messed with was the one woman. And she wasn't big or anything. I mean, she could have been a model, actually. I mean, she had all this martial arts.
You had a crush.
No.
Everybody.
No.
Your wife already heard it, bro.
Let me finish. That was a preemption, the preparatory phrase to that. Everybody in the school did. So,
yeah, don't make it no better, bro.
I'm not saying it did.
Your first reference gives it all away.
But no, honestly, and nobody messed with her because she had all this martial arts training stuff. She would hit you 5 times before you knew what day it was. If you fucked with her, dude, you were in trouble. She was gonna kick your ass.
Man, I started out bad. This was the very late 70s, but like my very first day of kindergarten, my very first day of school, my kindergarten teacher was Mrs. McKinley. She was an old ass lady. I mean, everybody's old when you're a kid, but this lady was like retirement stage old, right? She tried to take my scissors away, and I stabbed her hand with them. And she bent me right over her knee and whooped me right there on my very first day of school, man. So I got started out on the wrong foot forward, I guess. Day one.
Damn. Well, I guess I'm happy to say I never got assaulted by a teacher. I don't know of anybody getting hit by one, but not to say it couldn't have happened. But if it did, I believe they probably had it coming, honestly. So, they probably attacked them. So, I don't think they would take any shit from you like that. But I'd never seen them just willingly dish it out either. So,
shit, we had normal paddlings. Your school didn't have normal paddlings?
Nah, man. I mean, no, I grew up in the North. I know, like, even to this day, that's still legal in the South. And to an extent, I'm cool with it, honestly. But, no,
they had a wooden board with a hand grip on it, man.
Not the shit y'all talking about.
And the vice principal was in charge of it. They'd call your name over the loudspeaker, and you'd go down there, wait in the hallway, and every one of you waited, and you went into vice principal's little office there, and you got 1, 2, 3 whacks with the board, man, right across your butt.
Public school, no. When I was in the private Christian school, yeah. I was the recipient of that once or twice. So, you sober up yet? All right.
Oh, fuck no. I am fucking hammered. What's up?
What's going on back there?
Not much. I just got home here.
And hi to Squib, too.
Yep.
There's some food in here. I'm going to eat something and then drink some more beer.
Hey, you sure about that?
The saga continues.
But we were taking bets earlier if you were going to make it out of the shower alive.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm still hanging, man. I'm not saying I ain't fucked up, but I'm still hanging.
Oh, you were plenty fucked up on Gary's show earlier.
I was working on it. I wasn't fucked up yet.
Oh,
I have surpassed fucked up at this point.
I passed him the torch. I was fucked up on Gary's show on Friday night, so I just handed it off to Black Cat for Sunday morning.
Yeah, this guy, 11:30 in the morning, starts cracking open beers on Gary's show.
I actually wanted to stop by Scotsman's chat, but I had to go pizzas up. But I didn't make it. I wasn't driving, so I had a buddy of mine drop me off here.
I don't know, man. Looks like he's got a piece of carpet still stuck to his face.
What? Sorry you can't grow a beard, man, but damn.
It matches that carpet that he showed us from his old house that the puppy was sitting on earlier.
Ouch. Oh, yeah. Fuck, that's hot. I just burnt my shit out of my hands. So what's going on?
Nothing. We're just bullshitting, basically.
Ah, okay.
What'd you sell in school, Black Cat? You sell anything in elementary? And then, Squib, that question's for you, too.
What? Selling school weed? I mean, what? No.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it might have been legal at the time. I'm just saying, maybe candy. I don't know. Just throwing ideas. You guys, were you entrepreneurs in school or no?
I'm not at liberty to say. I don't know what the statute of limitations on that shit is. But,
yeah, that'll be expired by now.
oh, okay. Then weed. No.
He was selling weed in elementary school. That's
Elementary school. Nah, I don't know if I sold weed in elementary school. Ouch. Fuck, that's hot. I'm trying to eat a little pizza. I threw and made myself up a little like pizza thing here. No, probably not Wheaton Elementary School. Maybe Canby. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't fucking know. What are we selling in elementary school?
What about you, Squib? Pretending he's not here.
Squib left? Where's he at? Squib load, not Squib left.
Yeah, I'm here.
You sell anything in elementary school?
I think it was junior high.
Oh, what'd you sell?
Comic books.
Oh,
Comic book.
Find
What
a
was the
bunch of
market?
kids. You find a bunch of kids who's never read a comic book. You bring some comic books to school. You let them read them. They get interested. They go out. They buy some. They're starting to read them. They're buying them every month. And then suddenly they want to read the old story to figure out what's going on, because the comic book will usually reference back issues. And who has a whole bunch of back issues they've been holding on to? Me. So I sell them at an inflated price, and I use the price list for a comic book store that advertises in the comic books, in the back of the comic book, and I sell them at those prices. So now you get it right now. You don't have to pay shipping. And yeah, and I just use that money to buy more comic books. And then what I do is I just buy
What was your profit margin on that?
When I was a kid, who cared? I mean,
well,
did you
you
put it
go
on
into
your
business
credit
for
card?
money. Even as a kid, I mean, what are you making? Like 20 cents or something? Like,
I mean, maybe 20
God
cents,
damn.
$20. It just depended on what it was, right? But what I do is I would buy 2 or 3 or sometimes even more of these comic books, or sometimes there were stores that would sell them below sticker price. So if they were 65 cents and I could get them for like 54 or whatever it was, and I wasn't rolling in a bunch of money. It was just something I did at school. And I didn't do it for very long. I don't know, like a year or two. And all I did was just use it to pay for my hobby.
Jesus Christ. Squib was selling comic books like the guy on the corner was selling crack.
yeah, get them hooked and shit. And
Pretty much, yeah. Because you had a bunch of kids going, hey, you're always walking around with that book. What's in that book? This is Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man? and then they'd be like, oh, yeah. And, then I would show them that there was Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. There's the Amazing Spider-Man. There's Web of Spider-Man. The Spider-Man makes crossover appearances.
Did you give him a line of credit?
Yeah, man. You should have had your own credit card.
That was before I started dabbling and that sort of thing. You're underage. You can't have a legal binding contract like that with somebody under the age of 18. So.
Yeah, but they don't know that, man.
Well, the thing is, all I did was what the comic book stores do. I just did it on a very, very small scale, because the comic book stores would buy this stuff in bulk. They'd sell every month at the face value, whatever the price tag was on it. That's what they'd sell it for. And the next month they'd mark it up. And the month after that, and 6 months later, and a year later, and 10 years later, and so that's how you do it.
Yeah, but you forgot Marvel Team Up, which almost always had Spider-Man teaming up with somebody else.
You got the death of Superman. I know you were older at that point.
No, I wasn't into DC.
Man.
That's why I can watch the DC movies and enjoy them, because I'm not sitting there picking out the mistakes. When I watch the Marvel movies, I'm about ready to throw up.
You know, they got like 4 different versions that they're talking about bringing them back as, and a whole collector's book with like special cards and 3D glasses and a bunch of stuff. If you get interested, I might know a guy that's got a sealed set.
So who's out
Man,
there?
I haven't bought a comic book in decades. I haven't bought a comic book in decades, and my collection is sitting in a bunch of boxes on top of the beer fridge. And it's probably $5,000 worth of books, and I bet you I couldn't get $500 for it today.
So we're at, I got a Goose Island IPA, which is a 9.9 IPA called Tropical Bear Hug. Never tried.
Die on us online.
What?
Don't you do it online. If you're going to kick it, at least wait till you sign off.
I think the best one, though, the kids selling stuff, was this one kid got his dad's vintage Playboy collection, brought it to school, and was selling them. He got in trouble at school and at home because his dad was going to kill him. I was.
Well, did he have a mom at the house?
Oh no, his dad came and got him.
Yeah, no. But was it mom and dad, or was it just dad?
He had mom. Yeah, no, it was mom and dad.
Oh shit! Well, then if the kid was smart, he could have blackmailed the dad and actually got rewarded in the end.
No, this was in middle school. The dean called his dad at work. The kid was dumb enough to give the dean his dad's work number.
Yeah. But then, if you whoop my ass, I'm gonna have to tell mom. And I'd really like some ice cream.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was going to go over on this one. Yeah.
At least that way, if you got the ass whooping, you really, really, really deserve it.
Think he hit the wrong button.
So Squib was a comic hustler. Let's see. Jason sold dates with ladies. Rich let people drive his golf cart for a price.
Shit, I didn't have no golf cart. No, I would let kids take rides on my 10-speed for money.
Rob gave Bigfoot tours.
Hey man, we paid. No.
Yeah, like every time they went around the block, the way the Federal Street in Pittsburgh, the way how big the blocks were, they were huge, man. You could do laps around those things. It wasn't like you had a city block with the little alley separating them and stuff. I mean, you would go on the front street, right? They would be short and narrow, like what you would expect, but they would be deep going down the side streets. And you literally could go around the block and do half mile, quarter mile going around the block, just doing one lap around the block. And I would rate my 10-speed to kids $2 for a trip around the block with it. And the dumbasses were dumb enough to pay for it because they all had like single speed BMX Huffy kind of bikes. And I was the only kid in the neighborhood with a 10-speed. So they would give me the $2 to ride the 10-speed around the block.
That's funny. I always had like a BMX and a mountain bike, depending on what I was doing and stuff. But, again, like I said, I was a hustler in school. So my dad had a 10-speed. So if I wanted to try to break the speed limit, I'd take that. And I got, I think it was like 56 or something like that miles an hour I got on it one time. It was pretty cool because there was a speedometer on it and stuff. But other than that, why would I want a 10-speed? You know what I mean? I don't know. That was like an old person bike as a kid.
Shit, everybody in our neighborhood wanted a 10-speed because they were supposed to be faster.
And now look at who's making videos from his 10-speed.
No, man, that's a 21 speed mongoose. Oh yeah.
Oh shit, man! The most you could get when we were kids was a 10-speed. They didn't have all this like.
And I bought my bike for $20 because I'm a hustler.
Shit, I didn't pay anything for my 10-speed. A friend of my parents worked for Goodwill doing deliveries and shit. He brought that home from work with him one day. So here, you want a bike? Because anything that came in on the truck, if they wanted it, they would get first crack at it at employee discount. He probably paid like $10 for that bike, and he would always come home with Squib talking about comic books. He would come home with boxes full of comic books and give them to me.
Rob didn't read comic books. He didn't watch TV shows. He didn't go to the movies. He didn't do none of that stuff. So I wouldn't have been able to get him to buy any comic books off of me.
Well,
That would be incorrect. I used to go to the movies all the time. That was one of the only places in town, in my small town. Like movie theater, bowling, was about it, other than, somebody's house or something. And then I had comics, started collecting them at a younger age, just because my dad's friend told me it would be a good investment, which turned out to be a bunch of shit. But and also cards as well. All varieties, even into like the Boris, some of the weird ones. There's, pretty cool, some hot Viking chicks and stuff. I've got all types of stuff like that, but I don't know if it's worth anything or checked into it. And at one time, basically every movie that was ever made, I had a copy of. So, but
all that shit you've said about
a teenager, bro, I was more into girls than
all that shit you've always said about I'm always out playing sports and doing all that. When you guys are watching TV, reading your comic books.
I didn't read the books. I collected the books. It wasn't about reading them. Wasn't my thing. It was about an investment. That's why they're still sealed.
Oh my god!
You were nerd adjacent. I got you,
dude. I was like trying to make money at like 3 years old. I didn't get Nikes by like rich parents.
The trick was you bought 2 copies, one to read and one to collect.
Yep.
I might have an open one or two, like especially Punishers, but that's totally different.
What was really crazy was the one time, one of the boxes of the comic books that he brought me from, that he had picked up from somebody, was a bunch of like the old horror and Western comics from like the 60s and 70s. And my mother let my brothers destroy them. My mother let my brothers destroy a lot of my stuff. That's what I got for being somebody who actually went out and got a job, unlike her.
Pissed me off. I had a Matchbox collection people would die for, man. I mean, like some of the cars, you can pull the rubber tires off, all that type of stuff. Some nice stuff. Mirror reflected windows. I mean, I had some nice, the color changer, all that.
He had a vintage Honda Civic Matchbox.
I gave that stuff to my son. Like, he beat the shit out of all that stuff, man. Like, all that. I'm still digging shit up out the garden. Like, you got your nice cars you don't really play with, and then you got your beaters, you know what I mean? But I almost cry every time I, go turn the garden over and find a nice car in there. What was a nice car? Damn kids.
Yeah, don't remind me, because up until the time I started working at the Giant Eagle supermarket, to the time I moved out of my mother's house, I was constantly finding parts of broken Transformers around the house from where my mother let my brothers go in my room and get my Transformers.
Transformers. Come on, man. I'm talking Matchbox cars.
Hey, man, Transformers were better than Matchbox cars. They were 2 toys in one.
Level, man.
Hey, Transformers were 2 toys in one. You just had a silly little car. We had cars that turned into robots.
Play with your little boy Barbies. Shit, I'm burning rubber, doing loop-de-loops and shit.
Hey, those Transformers will be worth more than any of those cars that you're digging up in your backyard right now if they were. My mother wouldn't let my brothers torn them apart.
Not to me.
Some of those cars are worth $1,000, couple $1,000, man. those Transformers went up in price.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna hop off here for tonight. I got some stuff to do around the house here before I go to bed.
Have a good one, Jason.
Everybody,
Later, please.
stay armed, stay free. I'll see you on the next one.
Later.
So you guys see I got attacked by a fish today.
What?
Goddamn
No.
shark. Tried to take my leg off.
No, I did not see that. But Defense Stat says you're mad because you only got GoBots instead of Transformers. Hey, those GoBots, the toys were actually pretty decent. I mean, they were made
I
out
didn't
of
know that
metal
was
and
a real
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. They were, and the best part, people try and say that the Transformers ripped off the GoBots. GoBots were out first. But GoBots were about the size of a matchbox. You could carry them around in your pocket. You couldn't carry most of the
I
Transformers.
remember Micro Machines.
Yeah, we had a dog that liked eating the Micro Machines.
I thought they were cool. They always had a good collection of planes.
Oh, my son had the Micro Machine aircraft carrier. That came out when he was, God, he was 4 or 5 years old when that came out. That thing was huge too. It was like having a full-size aircraft carrier compared to the little Micro Machine planes. I mean, it was to scale.
But wasn't that like a carrier thing? Like you had, had a
It was a
handle
whole
to
battle
take it
thing.
to your friend's house or something like
No,
that.
no, this thing was too big to be carrying around. It had underneath the hull of the ship, you would pull the hull out of the ship, and there was like a land battle scene that was built into the aircraft carrier that you would pull out. And you could,
That's way better than that Star Trek shit.
so while you're playing with your little Micro Machine planes on the deck of the aircraft carrier, you could have another setup where you're playing with like your Micro Machine tanks and Humvees and stuff in like a desert scene that you pulled out from underneath the ship. It was kind of cool.
You guys see that anymore? See kids outside playing with action figures or cars, or you just see them more playing with phones now? That's probably an obvious answer, at least in my opinion. But
Yeah, around here you'll see them out riding their bikes and stuff. One kid got in trouble because he was riding a 4-wheeler through town.
it's funny around here, like freaking kids don't ride bikes. You got like, I don't know, people staying active, people for transportation, stuff like that. But the average person, like, like, I don't know, that sounds horrible, but a lot of the kids will be like 250 pounds on a damn electric scooter. You know what I mean? Spilling over the damn thing. Like, they ain't trying to do nothing physical. Like, it's like, it's sad. Like, you do see little kids, like probably 7 years old, running back and forth to the store all day for their deadbeat parents have time. And I shouldn't say that either, because maybe not all deadbeats, but
Shit, man. My brother and I would do that. My mother would be like, "Go down here.
yeah,
Here's-
but that's
here's
because
a
your
dollar,
parents
go
were
get a-
doing
Go
shit,
get a
not 'cause
2
they
liter
were
of Pepsi."
drunk on the couch or high or some shit, or you had to go feed your brother. Like,
My mom would write a note here. Go get me a pack of cigarettes.
like half the parents don't even care anymore. Like,
Oh,
kids
man.
get a damn paycheck or something.
Yeah, the one time my brother and I, she gave us a note. We went to the store, got her a pack of cigarettes, and we're playing catch with them as we're coming back up the street. And who'd have thunk it? They got stepped on. Boy, did we get a beating when we got home on that one. And that was back when cigarettes were like $1.25. Imagine how much of a beating we would have got today when cigarettes are like, I don't even know how much cigarettes are a pack anymore.
Depends what state you're in. Here, I think it's like 12, 14 bucks, something like that a pack, depending on your brand. I don't buy them, so I get all Nashville tobacco, and that's the way we've gone. And it's like, I don't know, 25 bucks a week versus, I don't even know,
Jesus.
30 bucks a day times 7. So
you used to get a carton of cigarettes for 10, 15 bucks. Good Lord. That cat's thrown in the towel, so he's going to bed. He's effed up enough.
going to Denny's.
He going to bed.
Oh,
He's gonna go sleep it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to be drunk. He's going to Denny's. Good Lord.
Well, shit, Denny's here is pretty damn good.
And here it's the same crap every time. Like, you got 2 servers, 500 freaking people. The servers are freaking worked to death, trying their ass off, and nobody's happy. You know what I mean? And it's a shit deal. You know what I mean? Because, you kind of feel bad for the server. But honestly, I'm not trying to leave a tip when I had to sit around there for 2 freaking hours to get a sandwich and leave. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just I just try to avoid the place, feel bad about the whole thing. Some of these facilities are just being ran like shit, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand why they're always understaffed. Like, it's...
Yeah, Denny's here is pretty good. I don't know if Kingpin's still out there, but he's been to our Denny's. He's eating there. I mean, food's not bad there. I don't know.
It used to be good, but now it seems like that's one of them places you just got to be drunk to go to, like Kill Time, the after party, or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you're waiting on everybody to meet up to hit the next place or something, because you're not going for the food.
Oh hell, man! The last time we went to Denny's, they had a nice ribeye on the menu.
Was it Apple Chris a la mode? That's the one I love from there. But
my go-to for breakfast is the Grand Slam or sandwich, the Grand Slam, which I think is what they call it.
Yeah, Grand Slam.
Yeah, but it's
eggs over my hammy's pretty good.
Yeah, have you had the Grand Sandwich? It's like French toast bread with the sausage, bacon, ham.
I don't know if I had French toast bread. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. Apple butter. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Like I said, I'd try to avoid that, and I usually go with that other one, eggs over my hammy. It's pretty good.
Defense Dad says, nice ribeye and Denny's don't belong in the same sentence. Dude, I was shocked that was on the menu. But the Denny's, their menus will vary by where you're at. Like the one Denny's around here up in Cumberland area, the Vale, Maryland, they don't have like spaghetti on the menu. You come down here, they got spaghetti on the menu.
Why would you go out to eat one of the cheapest possible things you could make at home?
Don't ask me.
Like, I never got that.
No,
like,
my son
order spaghetti, some Alfredo or some shit, something that takes time. Spaghetti? Like, what the hell?
Alfredo doesn't take a whole lot of time. Alfredo's easy to
make.
It
does when you actually mix the cheese all yourself.
Yeah,
if you buy some jar shit,
Alfredo's not that hard.
Yeah.
My wife makes Alfredo. It doesn't take that long.
How long does it take to make Alfredo?
About half hour.
See, it's not that long. Rob's talking like it takes all day.
No, not difficult.
You're supposed to be on my side, damn it.
It takes longer to make tomato sauce from scratch than it does Alfredo. Unless you're making the cheese yourself and having to age it and everything.
That's the I go. Like,
So 2 cheeses, and then you melt them down to create the sauce, and add what?
Yeah, you put some cream in there.
Heavy cream,
garlic.
garlic,
Salt,
Yeah,
salt,
garlic,
pepper.
salt,
Okay,
pepper.
I don't know. All I
some
know is
olive oil.
like her shit's to die
I use
for,
butter.
and yeah, it's good stuff. So I
Yeah,
assumed it
my
took
wife
like
makes
a year
good
to make. I don't know. My bad.
Yeah, it's simpler than what you think it is, man. It's not much different than making the sauce for macaroni and cheese. You're just using different cheeses.
Sauce for mac and cheese. There's no such thing as sauce for mac and cheese.
If you're making homemade mac and cheese, then there is.
No, you cut like 4 pounds of cheddar cheese and you layer that shit in your macaroni and cheese. You
That's
don't,
And then when you melt it, it becomes a sauce.
Now, my wife
no,
actually makes
because
the
it
mac
melts
and
in the oven.
Now, actual mac and cheese, it's very much the same as making an Alfredo sauce.
No,
You're just instead of using like the
No.
Parmesan or Romano, whatever you're using
No.
for your Alfredo, you're using like cheddar, Colby.
Nah, you're
My
cutting
wife
it.
uses like multiple different cheeses in the mac and cheese.
feta and cheddar. That's it. Feta goes in with your macaroni and you mix it all in with your butter and your salt and pepper. And then you put some pasta in the pan and you layer it with cheddar cheese. And then you put some more pasta in the pan and you layer it with cheddar cheese. And then you sprinkle some salt on top. You add a little bit of milk. And then you throw it in the oven and you bake it until the top is brown and bubbly and crispy. And that is mac and cheese. And you don't put no crumbly ass shit on top. No breadcrumbs.
Eat a goddamn
No
casserole.
damn breadcrumbs. It's mac and cheese. Macaroni and cheese.
It's pasta, water, the cheese packet, butter, and milk.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Maybe for you, not for us. people.
And I like to add jalapeno and like 3 different kinds of onion, maybe some serrano, maybe even throw in some diced tomato.
Well, I
Make
do
me a nice-
believe that Squib on Gary's show said he can't cook. So I mean that's why he's got to do the craft. He doesn't have any other choice in the matter.
Yep, that's right. No, my wife does most of the cooking. She'll even
living like a bachelor.
she even tells me, she's like, "Yeah, get the hell out of my kitchen. You can't cook."
Hey man, what the hell happened to your stove? What did your kid do with rice and the glass top? Like, what the hell? I don't understand that.
You've never spilled anything on a hot stove top.
Yeah, but I've got like gas stoves and stuff. I don't know. I've never had one of those glass top stoves. So what is it? Rice destroys it or something, or what?
You're supposed to be very careful that nothing boils over onto it, like especially like making like candy. Or,
Hell, I don't know. He said my son made rice and the stove looked like it was fucked up. So I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Well, see, just like all the other videos, he didn't watch it to the end, so apparently he didn't get
but
it.
This is like a month ago, so I don't know. But that's why I'm
Well, I
asking
guess,
what
yeah, I
happened.
guess, that's just on you, man. I don't know.
Squib just wants you to watch it again.
No.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
he's
don't watch it again. As a matter of fact, I don't even care if you ever watch another video I make. And I'm not gonna be like, well, if you want to know, you gotta watch the video. I don't care. But if you've watched it and then you're gonna be like, what happened, man? Well, apparently you didn't watch all of it. That's all.
I watched it. He said he spilled rice on it though, but I still don't understand. Like, did that like crack the surface or something? Like, it looked funky.
He ain't talking to you no more. You're pissing him off and you're gonna make him leave the show if you don't stop getting on him.
I'm just asking a question.
Okay, you're asking a stupid question. I really don't want to leave a hot mic because people are starting to clock in at the factory, and I'm standing on top of a machine trying to replace an air regulator. Not to mention, every time I walk between the maintenance cage and this machine, you guys fade out. So, yeah, I don't have an answer for you because your question is Just I don't know, man. Rephrase it or some shit. I don't know.
All right, we'll just move on.
Don't
I
put
mean,
breadcrumbs-
you don't understand about spilling something onto a stove. You think I got fucked up feet, and I don't know. You tell everybody to eat a salad, and all you ever do is talk about the most fattening food in the world that you eat. So
I didn't say I think you got fucked up. I just said I wanted you to disprove the fact. Just disprove it, because I've never known anybody to go through socks that quick. That's all I was saying. Like,
Yeah. I think Rob may have jizzed his pants the other night, though, when we were talking about the Big Mac salad.
Big Mac salad.
now that sounds good because it's already got the Thousand Island dressing built into it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No.
That's an actual thing. Big Mac salad, and apparently they're keto and Weight Watchers friendly too.
Somebody's lying to you.
No, well we were talking about it on Gary's show. I
So
remember
what?
if
They
it
order
might
a
have been in
Big
the after
Mac
chat.
with no meat
remember.
and then chop it up and call it a salad?
Well, no, you throw it in with lettuce, tomato, and stuff.
Doesn't the
Let's
Big
see,
Mac
like-
have lettuce and tomato and stuff on it?
No,
Yeah.
So they're eating
Well-
a Big Mac and they're calling it a salad.
They got like lettuce.
It's got
all beef
two
patties,
it's got
special
two
sliced
all
cheese,
beef
pickles, onions
patties.
on a sesame seed bun.
Yeah,
Come on, you don't remember the jingle from back in like the 80s? Two all beef patties,
I
special
don't
sausage,
do
cheese,
that.
pickles, onions on a sesame
That's
seed bun.
toxic.
No.
you know he could probably go for a McDLT, keep the hot side hot and the cool side cool.
Oh God, I remember those too.
Oh,
We had those came out when we were going to the private school. We had a cab driver that was assigned to us, like instead of a school bus to take us there, because the city, whenever you went to a public school in the city of Pittsburgh, the city was responsible for getting you to the school. So they had a cab pick us up every morning. And the cab driver we had the one year, every Friday he would take us to McDonald's after school. And it was right when the McDLT came out, and I decided I wanted to try one and see what all the fuss was about. Man, he could not get the letters McDLT out of his mouth. He just like totally butchered the name of that thing, and it wasn't like it was a hard one to get right. And we're all sitting in the cab just laughing our asses off.
I'm not trying to see a pressure gauge. I want to see your foot, damn it. Messing with gauges, such demanding work.
But here is a Big Mac salad. It's got pieces of Big Mac in it. You cut the Big Mac up and you throw it in the salad.
It honestly doesn't look bad, but it's still probably McDonald's food, man. That's yeah.
Well, no, you get the Big Mac and then you cut it up and you add it to your own vegetables. Everything you're getting from
Yeah.
McDonald's is the
Yeah,
Big
but
Mac.
you got a
Well,
McDonald's
you don't
Big Mac.
Yeah.
McDonald's Big Macs because it's
Yeah.
toxic. That's not meat. That's not real food.
Science experiment stuff.
You can't throw science experiments on a salad and call it food.
That's right.
It's a
If
good
you
time
leave
for the
that
great
in your
taste of
car for
McDonald's.
like 2 years, it'll still look pretty much identical, and you can probably knock somebody out with it. Where normal meat would get up and run away.
You know, that's the thing. A lot of people think that McDonald's doesn't use real meat, but it actually does.
That's what they say. I'm telling you, get a patty, spend $1, get a patty, get a burger, throw it on your back porch, and leave
This
it
guy
there.
thinks
Come
Big
on.
Macs cost
I'm telling you,
$1.
man. Well, get whatever. Go wherever. Go with it. That's how you can test that shit. Same thing with ice cream. If you think your ice cream's real, put it in a cup and let it melt. Because some of that shit, never melts, man. It's like gel. I'm telling you. Like, you should
It'll be warm, but
test
hold
your
it.
shit, man.
I don't know. I used to cook that shit. It's real beef.
If your meat don't rot and your bread doesn't mold, you should not be eating that
Yeah,
shit.
that's science experiment shit, man. Good bread should go bad in like a day or two. Like,
Yep,
seriously.
McDonald's buns are good for a day and a half. They get a delivery every day from the bakery.
And I have pulled a moldy Big Mac out of the refrigerator, so I mean, they do get moldy.
But these guys are all crazy. You see this, right? They're all fast food eating, typical
Oh
American,
God, no, I can't stand Big
Glock
Macs.
loving
Dude.
people.
I hate Big
Freaking
Macs.
ridiculous.
I can't even watch the McDonald's commercial without.
I know, it's horrible. It's horrible.
So I got to
I'm
do
not-
another short where I eat a Big Mac just to piss you off? Okay, I'll do it.
I can't stand the Big Mac. I've never liked the Big Mac. With those little
Honestly, they don't taste
dehydrated onion things that they
But
put
I know
on
they
them
ain't
and
good
stuff.
for you. I think the last time I got a Big Mac, I just went and got a wisdom tooth removed. And the first place I stopped was to get a burger.
After
Because I
having a wisdom
couldn't
tooth
eat before,
removed?
yeah. Yeah,
Were you wanting? Are you some kind of
I still had
masochist?
gauze in there. Nah, but I've pulled a few of my own teeth in the past and shit. So, you know, going to a doctor, that was nothing.
And I'm not going to be doing a. Gary's like, we all got to do Big Mac videos and send links to and tag Rob. You won't see me doing that because I honestly cannot stand the Big Mac. I have never been a fan of the Big Mac. Now, if you let me substitute a quarter pounder, maybe, but I ain't doing a Big Mac.
Is it the sauce?
I don't know. There's just something about the Big Mac. I've never liked them.
Order it without sauce and you'd be good to go.
And it's those little like rubber things that they call onions that they put on it. The
Those are
quarter
dehydrated onions. You remember
Yeah, I
that
know.
stuff.
Quarter pounder has real onion on it. It's easier to pick it off. I'm not I don't like fresh onion either. And
You guys ever seen the videos of how the sizes dropped on them? How like they used to be so big, like the package, everything was even bigger. And then as like the decades roll through, they get smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah, there's videos out there on that. I don't know, people that, you know, showed the actual burgers and packaging, you know, and the dates. And it's kind of interesting to see how they reduce the portions of some of these things. Because, like, that Big Mac really ain't that big. You know, it's not like it used to be. Or like the Big Fish or whatever. I don't know if that was Burger King or whatever.
That was
but
Burger King with the Whaler.
that
the
shit
Whaler
is,
where
like
the damn
getting
thing was the
smaller.
size
Now
of a
they're
Whopper.
giving you freaking sardines and calling it the Big Fish.
Yeah, you had the Whaler at Burger King, which was like the fish version of a Whopper. That thing was huge back in the day. Now you get this little thing. It's smothered in the McFish at McDonald's, and it sucks. Not that the McFish is any damn good either, for that matter.
I got like that
Go to Culver's.
big spicy chicken from Wendy's like a week or so ago. Freaking thing was horrible. It looks like the dollar menu chicken sandwich or something. You know what I mean? Like, everything's going down. It ain't worth the money. Like, I know it's supposed to be convenience and all this shit, but it's the same thing for coffee. Like, instead of spending $3, I'd rather just drive home. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, I really just don't want that shit anymore.
Well, I can tell you the reason why fast food costs so much right now is because they're paying them more than what they're paying them in this factory. So that's what happens. All these people are like, oh yeah, I flip burgers. I should be making $16, $17 an hour. I've got no job experience and I can't pass a drug test, or I can't really get a job anywhere else. Yeah, I should be starting off at like 16 or 17. And then they charge $7 for a fucking hamburger. Everybody loses their mind. Well, the same people that are losing their mind were the same people going, yeah, these people should get paid like $16 an hour. Yeah, this is what happens.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, they still can't get an order right.
Were you in the chat when Defense Dad was telling us how much they were offering people at Arby's in his area? $20 an hour at Arby's.
Yeah, but I'm surprised $20 an hour wasn't what Arby's was before the coof, because they were expensive. We go to Arby's once a year. It's like, man, I'm craving some Arby's.
Yeah.
We'll go to Arby's and we'll walk out of there with a store ass and a melted credit card, and it's just for a regular meal, right? And it's like, yep, we ain't doing that again. Then about a year later, you know, I will say Arby's, it's the cost. The food is good, but it's always been way too overpriced. White Castle, that's one where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna have this again for another decade. It's not expensive, but oof.
What's the point? Like 50 burgers for a damn meal.
I gotta eat a bag of burgers.
I know. It's like, is there something wrong with that?
I'm talking about what it did to your insides, man.
I don't know. I've never had it. I've seen them sold at the stores because we don't have them around here. But
We had a White Castle
Yeah,
here
I-
a long time
but
ago. I was
I-
little.
you know, to me, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's a waste of damn time. I mean, you know, give me, you know, just take 4 of those and make a burger. I'd be a lot happier.
My wife is addicted to Arby's. She's got to go to Arby's at least once a month, or she's not happy.
Yeah, I don't know. For the cost, like for, you know, the time it takes for you to make a buck, you know what I mean? Like when you compare your wage or whatever your time's worth to you, however you know, get paid in a sense, a lot of the fast food just ain't really cutting it anymore. Not to me. I mean, shit, you can damn near go out and get a decent meal somewhere at a decent place for the cost of fast food, especially if you're buying shit for kids. Like, good Lord. Yeah.
When we went out to eat after Thunder on the Prairie, I got a regular sit-down meal, and I got a mixed drink and a tall beer, and it cost less than for me to go to eat at McDonald's. Minus the tip. But at McDonald's, they don't bring you your food, so they usually don't. At least I've been to some where they have, but I don't tip at McDonald's.
Right, if they do.
Unlike Reservoir Dogs, I don't tip. You don't tip people at McDonald's. You know?
Yeah, our Dairy Queen, they bring the food to you. They take your order at the register when you first walk in, and then you go sit down and they bring the food to you.
Tell you what we need more of up here are Chick-fil-A's. We just have a shortage of those.
The closest Chick-fil-A to here is up in LaVale, Maryland. We don't have one here in town itself.
I'm not really a fan of any of those chicken places. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the chicken's good, KFC, Popeyes, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's again like kind of borderlines that science experiment stuff. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but every goddamn piece of chicken's like the same size. Something just ain't right with that, man.
You know, you mentioned KFC. That made me think of something I saw today. I'm scrolling through on my phone YouTube videos, and you see Gizzard Gary show, and immediately underneath there's an ad for KFC, and I go, dude, that is just wrong.
Like I'm betting those like you're eating all the siblings. Like that whole bucket's all siblings of the same clone, probably.
I think they're all.
Something ain't right with that, man. Crazy world. You heard about Subway, right? With their tuna, where it has like 0% tuna in it. Thought that was funny. I mean, I'm sure it's other fish because technically I think they can legally label 7 different fish as tuna. So I think it's 7 or 11 for some reason. Those are the numbers that come to mind. Nothing to do with the store, but if you're picky, you know, the only way you can kind of know for sure is if you actually pay the extra like 20 cents for the albacore, because then it has to be albacore tuna. Other than that, it's whatever classifies as tuna, which I don't know if it matters to you or not, but yeah, it's interesting. And a lot of your sprinkled cheese, it's got wood pulp in it, man. All that cheap shit, you're paying for sawdust. The good shit doesn't, but it's like $5 a jar. My bad. Like six
I think
bucks a jar,
$6
six
for
something.
the little small
A little ass tub.
plastic container deals. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, food's gotten crazy, man.
Yeah. Remember going to Subway and getting a 99-cent 6-inch cold cut combo?
Nah,
What happened to those days?
That's a snack.
shit.
Now you can't get a goddamn footlong for $5 at Subway.
She's a
Like
bad
Gary
chick.
was saying. Yeah. He said they went to Subway and it was $50 for 4 people. $50
I believe it.
at Subway.
I believe it.
What, are they all eating like 6 inches? Like back in the day, they had that $5 footlong shit, but I don't
Yeah,
think
they
do
don't
that
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
no,
don't do that
I know.
no more.
So,
That's what I was saying. I
Like,
mean, you used to be able to get a
how
cold
you
cut
doing?
combo, which was basically
4
your
people for
basic Italian,
Hmm.
for 99 cents. The half one was 99 cents for basically your basic Italian sub. Half of it.
well, now they got to pull the ingredients that are using plastic out of the bread and start using some real shit and actually putting tuna fish instead of sardines and shit in their tuna. So they got to get that money somehow and probably pay for all Jared's lawsuits. Good Lord, I don't know if they've ever gotten over that.
Well, none of that was connected to the company. They're not liable for any of that shit.
What a crap story that was, you know? You're like all happy for the dude, and then you hear that shit later, and you're like, oh, that's messed up. like,
No,
damn, what a shame. What a way to ruin it.
My wife was always like, there is something wrong about this guy. She just knew something was wrong about
Well, I
shit.
don't know. He kind of seems like maybe a little doofy or something, but some people just look like that. I
She's
don't
like,
know.
look how close. She was always like, look how close his eyes are. I mean, there's something wrong with this guy. He's not right. There's something. He just freaked her out from the beginning, man. She's like, there is something wrong with this guy.
So that's how I felt about Pee Wee Herman. Like something's up with that dude.
Subway didn't do their due diligence before they hired Jared. When he was in college, he made money selling pornographic videotapes to other kids at the dorm.
Well, depending on her age, there's nothing
Oh,
illegal
I sold.
about that.
Yeah.
It's not about being illegal. It's about corporate image. It's about the corporate image. Do you want to hire the guy who is selling porno videos for your commercials? And the reason he air quotes lost weight eating Subway was he walked 5 miles one way to go get a Subway and walked 5 miles back. And it was the walking that did it, not eating the Subway. So they played on this. So I guess they get whatever they get if they're embarrassed about what he did later, because they kind of lied about how he lost weight. And I mean, or I suppose it's just from a certain point of view, right? We use the Obi-Wan thing. Well, from a certain point of view, but that's just what they get.
Oh hell, man! You got to remember the era too. I mean, you got celebrities doing porn left and right. I mean, back at that time, shit, nobody gave a shit about porn anymore when they hired him. It's the kiddie porn that did him in. It wasn't just.
Oh no, I'm not saying he filmed it. I'm saying he bought the video cassettes and sold them.
Yeah,
and you might go, okay, well that'd be the same thing as him maybe selling a little bit of. Well, I don't know. It's not that he broke the law. It's just the image. If you're going to have somebody represent your company, that's why I'm probably never going to get a sponsor, because I say fuck you in all my videos. So
yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, but again, you got to stop and think. Arby's had Paris Hilton as a goddamn spokeswoman after she did a porn video. So at that time period, nobody gave a fuck.
Touche. Wait a minute. Are you saying there's hope that I'll get a sponsor one day, even though I say fuck you?
There's plenty of people that swear and have sponsors, man.
There's always a motherfucker looking for somebody to sponsor.
if you watch Steven Crowder, he's got Walther as a sponsor. You know, he's not exactly a family-friendly show.
And shit, you send a little more of that coffee this way, I might even throw you a buck or two.
I'm not talking about e-baking. I'm actually talking about like doing something kind of a little bit more on the up and up. Not talking about
You don't
e-baking.
like cash in the mail? Everybody says they got a problem, but I never get any return envelopes. You know what I mean?
Oh, you will. You will. I keep forgetting to send it to you.
Defense Dad. He's out there with another go. So Wheaties had Bruce Jenner. Apparently, Wheaties was pro LGBT before it was cool. How dare you dead name him, sir?
Well, Wheaties always sucked. I mean, come on. Who here has actually ever truly liked Wheaties? Yeah, crickets.
I might follow up this letter, but I'll go ahead and let go and unmute to say, yeah, I used to eat Wheaties, all kinds of cereal. I don't anymore because it's for kids, but yeah, they were good.
You liked Wheaties? That's not for kids. That's like old man cereal or something.
Yeah, that's old people's cereal when you're having trouble going to the bathroom.
Now, for me, cereal is for children. Once you get to be grown up, having cereal ain't exactly just that. I don't think I've had a bowl of cereal in, it's been a long time.
You know,
it's like riding a bike. A bicycle, that's for children, not for grown men.
You know, cereal was not invented for children. It was invented for people that were...
Yes, I know. It was invented in the state that I reside in. I understand all that. But I'm not saying, it's just for me, it's something, I think cereal was my go-to food when I was a kid. It's a kid's food to me. It just is. It's just like riding a bicycle. That's for kids. That's not for me. All right? For somebody else to go, I eat it because it's healthy, or I ride it because it's healthy. That's great. You know, it's just like old people. It's just like old people who try to dress like these kids today. I'm not saying you're dressing appropriate for your age. I'm saying like you're 66, but you're trying to dress like you're 16. It's just no.
Yeah, Defense Dad's throwing down the gauntlet out there. He's challenging it. He's saying Pop-Tarts are for kids too.
No, Pop-Tarts.
Civilized people grow up to toaster strudel.
Pop-Tarts have always been kind of Pop-Tarts wasn't something I ate a lot of as a kid. Cereal, shit. I eat a box of cereal a day.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts have always been marketed towards kids. But they make a great food for like in your bag or something. I know plenty of college kids that would keep a thing of Pop-Tarts in their bag, and they pull them out between class. Something to snack on while they're walking from one class to the next.
I'd much rather make my own trail mix or something.
Well, we know you would, Mr. Salad.
Yeah. Well, come on. I mean, honestly, Pop-Tarts really taste like shit. There's like even the proportion ratio. They got just a little bit of shit inside them, and you got an inch on one side of flat, nasty dough shit that don't taste like nothing.
That's because you're buying the ones from your cheap grocery store. Don't buy the store brand. Buy the Kellogg's ones.
We don't.
Now I got to do one of those videos. I'm going to have to do like, these are Pop-Tarts for fours, and these are regular Pop-Tarts.
They don't. Even you can heat them up, they taste okay. Eat them cold, they're bearable. But in the end, they're just shit, man. Like, come on, you don't really like Pop-Tarts.
I got Pop-Tarts out in the kitchen right now.
I don't know. I think people make way too big of a deal over Pop-Tarts. That's like, I don't know. They're not that good, man.
Yeah, but how are you going to take throw something in your bag and then run out the door? How are you going to do that with a toaster strudel?
You can't with a toaster strudel. I'll give you that. But, I mean, you can think ahead and do some trail mix or something like that. I mean, a lot of other things you could do that's way better than a damn, Pop-Tart. And honestly, you should be thinking ahead. You should pregame your stuff when you're a young kid doing all that shit. Got to be there and all this. It's almost like the military. You get your shit ready the night before because you don't know. Maybe you think you're going to go to sleep and you ain't going to sleep, but your shit should already be ready to go. All this last
Rob, that's
minute
like
shit
kids.
for lazy ass people.
Rob, kids aren't like you, man. They don't plan and think ahead. They just.
Oh,
they're
you
in
should
the
be thinking
moment.
that way as a kid, though. Like, you don't
Kids
wait
never
all
think like
weekend
that.
till Sunday to do your damn homework. You do that shit Friday. So that way, if there's a party, you're good to go. Like, you already have your room clean. So when that girl comes over to your friend's house, you can just go.
Shit,
Like,
Rob's
what the
actually
hell's
acting like
wrong
kids
with
do
you?
homework. Don't you know homework's racist?
Well,
No,
in
I'm
that
not.
aspect, I can say I don't think it's racist, but I didn't do homework. And I still passed everything.
Yeah, I never did
But
homework.
yeah, I just had like a stand on that shit, and because I was able to pass everything still, it never became a serious problem where I got put on I don't know any of that school shit, pins or whatever the hell programs
Yeah,
they call or all that
eighth
shit.
grade U.S. history, I passed just taking the tests every 2 weeks. I
Well,
refused to do any of the homework for that class.
me too. Well, you figure, they got you for like 8 hours a day, and I got a life, man. I got shit to do. Girls to hang out with or try to, whatever the case is. You try to sit here and do homework all the damn time. Not if I can still come in and pass everything. So, but
Yeah, I
maybe
used to
that's why I drive a 95.
I used to frustrate the hell out of the teacher in that class too, because she's like, "Why don't you do the homework? You know the material. You could be getting a straight A in this class." I was like, "I don't want to." I just walked away. She used to get so frustrated with me. She's like, "You're smart. You know the material. Why aren't you doing the homework?"
They stopped assigning homework around here, honestly, because it made the teachers look bad because kids wouldn't do it. And so the grade suffered. So as a whole, the school suffered. And in turn, if that suffers, the teachers' reports don't look good, all that type of shit, and everybody, makes less money. The school gets less money. I don't know, shit like that. So they just stopped doing homework. Yeah, I was just saying I didn't do it when I was a kid, but it wasn't nothing about racism. That's just
No,
it.
don't you know homework? I mean, haven't you heard these people lately?
Yeah,
Homework is
but
racist.
everything's
Math is
racist to them.
racist.
Like a brown
English is
bag
racist.
racist. I mean, give me a break. Like, fucking Santa Claus is racist now. I mean, everything's.
Uh-huh.
You don't
Jesus
pay
is
attention to that
racist.
stupid
I mean,
shit.
everything to these people is racist anymore.
That damn yogurt's probably racist by now.
Oh, I'm sure they probably think it is. They need to add some brown food coloring to that shit. That's racist.
Yeah.
Yogurt. That sounds pretty good right now.
Well, if you want to eat Mel Brooks, you knock yourself out.
Oh.
Not hell, I don't even know what the hell he was.
He was yogurt.
Yeah, but he was.
I don't think they ever said what race he was, just like they never said what Yoda's race was in the movies.
Oh, this is that secret Star Trek language
Oh,
shit.
see, there he goes. He goes.
No,
Oh
that
yeah,
was Spaceballs.
I went to the movies, but I never saw Spaceballs, so I don't. As that Star Wars. Yeah,
Rob.
Star Wars. They made some movies. Did you see any of them? I saw the one with that guy, and he had the thing, and
I went to one.
teenagers blow up the Death Star or something.
Yeah,
My
if
friend honored me by giving me a ticket and dragging me to one of them that supposedly everybody wanted to go to, and I was supposed to give it an honest chance, and I did, and it was still lame, but I didn't tell him that. But
see, Rob's problem, I don't think he was doing it right with the girls, man. He never went to the movies, but he was hanging out with girls. You're supposed to take the girls to the movie.
oh, I said I was at the movies all the time, like damn near every weekend. It was that or like a bowling alley or a party or somebody's house. That was it.
Who goes bowling on a date?
I don't know. That's what was in the town, man. Like, I don't know. Not me. I'm not a bowler.
You just said you were taking girls to the bowling alley.
Holy shit. This dude is like CNN. I said the only thing in the
Is
town
that not
was
what he just said,
was
Squib?
a goddamn movie theater and bowling alley.
Once again, I'm going to let go of the ladder for this one. Yeah, he said when you take a girl to the bowling alley. I don't know why Misfit Starling isn't over there going, what the fuck, Rob? You never take me to the bowling alley.
Because she knows I don't bowl.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's some lame
Nobody
ass
said you were bowling and you just went to the bowling alley.
shit.
Who
She
the hell
wants
goes
to play
to the
with
bowling
balls.
alley
She
for
can stay at home.
Hi.
What? I'm just saying.
Good Lord.
Do you stay home for everything? Here's Rob's take on Las Vegas. Why would I fly all the way out there to go gamble? I'll just put a slot machine in my living room. I can stay home.
Nah. I just that's gambling is crazy. That's for people with too much money, man. I know. What the hell's the point? It doesn't make no sense.
I can see now. Rob in high school asked a girl
We'll do
out.
something with money.
He comes up to her house.
I know. To each their own. I don't hate you on it.
Why
you
would
know.
I drive all the way out to the mountains to go skiing? I'll just get on the roof in the winter.
I'll
It looks
build
like
a
Wide
snow
World
ramp.
Sports, the agony of defeat.
I'll build a snow ramp from the ground to the roof, and I'll just ski down that and save money.
Yeah, I've done that. You're gonna tell me you have it? You're gonna tell me you have it?
No. I'm not
Lazy
dumb enough to
ass.
climb up on the
Yeah,
roof.
you were too busy watching Star Wars and shit.
Hey, speaking of which, you know if you can get the original Star Wars on Blu-ray, none of that bullshit they put in it afterward, like the way it looked in '77. Can you get that on Blu-ray?
I don't think you can. I've only ever seen the special editions.
Crap.
I got the originals on VHS.
Yeah, I got Empire on VHS in my toolbox.
Yeah, but ever since they did the DVDs and the special editions, that's all you can get. You can't get the originals anymore.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, I've looked. I've never found them. Oh, honestly, the special editions they released in the '90s weren't that bad because all they did was put in things that they had taken out. But then when they did the special edition for Blu-ray, they added shit that was never supposed to be in them. And then they took the guy that was Vader inside the costume, who ended up being Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi, took him out of the movie and put that asshole that played him in the prequel trilogy in there as Anakin.
Like, I'd get more into like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or something than the Star Wars stuff. I don't understand it with you guys. None of them can shoot for shit. Like,
no, that's just the stormtroopers that can't shoot.
No,
like,
you know what it is? You know what it is?
All supposed to be all noble and all this bullshit, and it's
Not
slow and
stormtroopers.
blah, blah,
You know,
like,
Rich,
what the hell?
This is what it is. Outcast has never seen a slave Leia.
No. He's probably never seen Leia, period.
I've seen Leia, but that's, big deal. I mean, shit. My girl does like a Princess Leia hairdo. It's a great time. But still, you don't watch a whole damn series because of one chick.
Tell it to anybody that's ever watched Resident Evil. You think people are watching those Resident Evil movies because they're good movies?
Hey, I like those movies. I own like a bunch of those games, like the old ones too, man. Leon. Oh, man. I'm like the best Leon there is out there.
Anyway, I can see it now. Rob in high school pulling up to get his girlfriend for a date, walks up to the door. He gets there, her dad asking, "Where are you taking my daughter on a date?" "Oh, we're going to the bowling alley." Dad's like, "What? What did you just say?" "We're going to the bowling alley." He's like, "Here, kid, here's a few other bucks. Take her to a movie, you deadbeat."
Yeah, it wouldn't be me. I don't go bowling. It might have been used as an excuse at some point. I don't know, but I can't speak for what people told their parents.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Dude, the
and
last time I bowled was like a work event across the country, and that's just because I was invited by my new boss and son and daughter. Little did I know, I didn't know any of them were family, so almost put my foot in my mouth that night. But that was a whole other story. But and that was just like a social kind of meet and greet thing. So I'm not a bowler, man. Again, that's another one of them sports I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, if it don't have an engine, if you don't almost die, it ain't entertaining to me. And that does not include NASCAR driving in a damn circle. Like, no. Yeah, that's like the only cool thing is when they wreck, and that's for like 2 seconds. Like rally racing, like 2 wheels, 1 wheel on the ground, 95 around hairpin corners, like just hopping. You don't even know where the hell you're going because you got it, man. Oh hell, they're
realize,
going.
Rob,
Shit,
you do realize that
that's racing.
NASCAR. You do realize NASCAR isn't always just making left turns. There are
Yeah,
turns.
no,
there
but
are
it's
The
races
people who
that-
say all it is left turns have never actually been on an embankment that's like 85 degrees and going, how the hell do you do this without falling?
It's
There's a lot more to it. The problem with NASCAR isn't that they make left turns, okay? That's for people who don't understand the sport. It's actually very difficult, very expensive, and there's a lot of danger to it. The thing is, over the past 15 years, they've made it so that there are so many rules that, you know how football's kind of sucking because they're constantly throwing out the flag? Everything is a fucking, they got to do a instant replay. NASCAR has gotten to where it's all rules. It's all about rules and money, and it's no longer a sport. They've actually taken all the fun and excitement out of it.
Oh God! And then they put that stupid chase thing in there.
That was absolutely stupid. Yeah, it ruined it.
Marathon. Now it's half a marathon to a sprint.
It's ridiculous. All the things that they've done to it to make it where they don't wreck the cars as often, where they're trying to make everything a lot more even playing field, right? It's about equality of outcome, not equality of opportunity. And it's really just about generating revenue. It's about revenue generation. It's not really about a sport anymore.
Well, nobody cares. That's NASCAR. Have you seen like the Dakar rally? Like some of these ones across the desert and all this shit? Like,
NASCAR was the biggest, most popular sport in America. NASCAR was a bigger, more popular sport that made more money than football, than basketball, than baseball.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying, sport-wise, that's nothing. Nothing compared to like something like rally racing or one of those Dakar desert races or any of that. That's some serious shit, man. Like, yeah, just like I said, just finishing is an accomplishment, let alone being first in your class. NASCAR, all their safety shit.
This is from a guy who doesn't understand the point of bowling is to knock down the pins. It's not hard to concept.
No, it's to have an excuse to get away from the family you hate, get drunk, and fucking hang out with the boys.
I've gone bowling numerous times and never once got drunk doing it.
Everything you just described is going on a live show on YouTube, duh.
Yeah,
not if your lady's with you. Most of the people I've known at bowling,
excuse me,
either what I just stated or an
Did you just
go have an affair.
Rob, stop. Did you just say you don't get drunk on YouTube with your lady being there? You've done that how many times on this show?
This is CNN shit. Said, nah, don't count because I had my lady with me. Yeah, most people they go bowling. It's like an excuse to go meet up with somebody and shit. That's what it seems like. They got their little league thing and tournaments they got to travel to, all this shit. You know, those are all the people that got like 2 kids at home and hate their fucking wife. Like, those are the people I see bowling.
We had a bowling league in high school, dude.
Oh, you don't even want to enter. Yeah, I know it's not the case with everybody. No, I just don't. Like I said, it's. I mean, what do you hurt your finger? You stubbed your toe bowling? I mean, come on, man. Like I said, you gotta, be risking life or death, something extreme. Like, that's interesting. That's fun. Like, it's watching people go around a little track, and every once in a while somebody spins out.
Woo! Rob likes seeing people get hurt. That's okay. Now I get. Rob just wants to watch people get hurt.
Hey man,
But
no
he doesn't
pain,
like
no
football.
gain. That's why I like.
But he doesn't like football or hockey.
Well, yeah, because they're all. Well, hockey's actually not bad. I'd take hockey over football any day. So, but I just don't get it, man. It's like an excuse for you guys to be gay and stuff. I don't know, running around smacking each other on their ass and all this stuff all the time, playing around the locker room, all the dick tap jokes and shit. Fucking, I don't know, man. I just, maybe it was just my high school, but just wasn't my thing. So
That's the last guy to get picked for the team.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I would have been the first.
Yeah, Rob was always the last kid in gym class to get picked.
Nah, I was like the biggest kid. They tried getting me in varsity when I was in middle school, but I had no interest in football. I also was a starter for basketball, but I quit that after I don't know, first game or something because I couldn't do anything without catching a foul. Like, is it my fault that people run into me and they go fall into the goddamn floor? That's not my fault. I'll understand that, but whatever.
It's not my fault, Griff. He ran into me as I was throwing that shoulder tackle.
Well, I seriously, I don't know. But granted, I was what? I was 6 feet tall, 210 pounds at 11 years old. So I was a big boy. They harassed me to be in football. Harass me.
Yeah, we gotta start wrapping this up because I gotta get to bed soon, or so that I can try and get my sleep on schedule, so I'm up in time for when we gotta leave for her to go get her damn surgery on Tuesday. So, Rob, you or the lady have anything you want to say before we get out of here? If she's still out there eavesdropping.
She's in the other room. Eat a salad. Avoid that science experiment food. Don't buy Glocks. Have a great night, folks.
McDonald's does salads.
You would give those people your money? I'm ashamed of you.
What about you, Squib?
Let's see. Eat a Pop-Tart, build your credit score, and if you don't like Glock, give them another try. Try a Gen 5, see if that makes a difference. If not, stay the course, man. Have a good night.
The guy was clearly drunk.
No Glocks here, but I do have. Screw YouTube. I'm getting already excited to show off anyway. Yeah, I do got this. So. There's a video on the channel about this, so go over there and check that out. And
how much was that?
What, the grip?
Yeah.
I paid $51 with shipping and handling for it.
Yeah, that's not bad then.
No,
it wasn't that bad. I watched your video and I was dying to give you crap, but I got caught up and had to go and I couldn't leave a comment. But
yeah,
you bought a gun to buy another frame for it. Like, what the hell's the point in that? But $50, that ain't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk after because that's not retail. So, but anyway, yeah. We'll catch y'all sometime in the week, maybe. I don't know. With my wife then they go and have surgery. I don't know if I'm even going to be doing the shows next weekend. Depends on how she's doing and whatnot. So we're going to have to play it by ear. So if I see you, I see you. If not, then we'll be back here in 2 weeks. I don't know. Like I said, she's got to go have a hysterectomy Tuesday, and depending on how she does, we may be in Pittsburgh for anywhere up to a week. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the shows next weekend or not. Gary's show, my show. So like I said, we'll have to play it by ear and see how things go from there. Hopefully she'll be all right, and because they said if everything goes well, she should come home Tuesday evening. We should leave the hospital, but if they have to, they'll keep her overnight, and depends on how she reacts and everything. So anyway, I will find this outro and play the outro and bid you all a good night. So later, everybody.